I'm not gonna lie, as a teenager, that movie taught me a lot of things about myself. He looked like he's either on a run or he just went to see his sneaky link. Hi digestives, welcome to Crimes Digested, where we digest senseless crimes. Today's story is kind of interesting, I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna jump right into the story. Today's case is the honeymoon killer. It's gotten to the point where you have to be scared of going on a honeymoon, okay? And you're not even scared of what's gonna happen there, but rather your own spouse. Today's story is about Bradley Dawson and his wife Christe Chen. Have you ever seen Blue Lagoon? I'm not gonna lie, as a teenager, that movie taught me a lot of things about myself, okay? That movie was my coming of age movie. If you're not understanding what I'm trying to say here, you're too young. But if you want to know what I'm trying to say, just go watch Blue Lagoon, the 1980 Blue Lagoon with what's her name, Brooke Shield. She was 14 years old when she started in that movie. That's a whole different story, but go watch that movie after you finish this video. The location of this movie is what we're going to be talking about today. This crime happened on the same island in Fiji where this movie was like recorded, and it gained international traction probably because of the movie. I'm not gonna lie, this crime happened there and a lot of people were like, oh my god, isn't that the same island? So what happened? First of all, let me tell you about Christe Chen. Christe Chen is this beautiful 36-year-old who worked at a bakery as a chef, like pastry chef. And as time went on, she developed a passion for medicine, and she decided, why not go back to school and be a pharmacist? Not only is it probably gonna pay more, like I feel like that's a big motivator, but not only is it gonna pay more, but it's also gonna be helping people in a different way. So she goes back to school and she gets her license. She's an intelligent woman, okay? Let me tell you that much, because she even won an award after graduating. She won this award called the Walter Clover's Information like Award for Excellency or something like that. I'm not well versed in these things, right? But she's an intelligent woman. She meets her like the love of her life. They literally had like a what people describe as like a whirlwind romance. She meets Bradley Dawson and they fall in love. They decided to get married. Bradley worked for a non-profit organization in Memphis, and they basically help youths with like welfare and just basic stuff that you would probably see at a welfare center. They help kids readjust to stuff, right? Like the youth. So they meet, and if you see him, he's just like your run-of-the-mill average guy. You know, he's average looking, average height, average pretty much life, I guess. He worked in the IT department, so he's one of those people that you see on the side of the road and you're like, oh hi, just normal looking guy. They met, decided to get married in February of 2022. They tied the knot, and everybody just says they're like a beautiful couple, okay? They are very much in love with each other, but they didn't go on their honeymoon until July. And I think it's probably because the resort is that fancy. Turtle Island Resort. It is the dream resort in Fiji, okay? It is in Yawasa Archipelago, and it's one of those resorts that people are waiting in line to go to. Okay, this resort is on one of the 20 volcanic islands, and a lot of people are clamoring. They're waiting in line. They're sitting at their desks waiting to see if they are one of the people that's going to be on this resort, because they only accept 14 couples at a time on these resorts. So when Christe Chen and her husband Bradley Dawson are finally able to go on this resort, it's excitement, it's thrilling. Like one of her friends say, before they left for the honeymoon, she was glowing. Okay, she was excited. This is once in a lifetime opportunity, probably for a lot of people. It's expensive. It's literally a freaking movie set. So everyone wants to go, but not everybody can go. And when they are finally there, it's exciting. You know, they get there and they settle in on the 7th. The 8th at dinner time, things are kind of weird. Everybody is wondering, are these people going to be okay? Are they going to make it? They might be able to make it off this island, but is their relationship going to be okay? Because you know how you go to a wedding and you watch the couple and you think they're not going to make it. These two are not going to make it. They're not going to survive. They are not aware of the trouble they're getting themselves into. That's how every person on this island was watching Chen and Dawson, because Christe and Dawson are at each other's throat. They are having a scream match, one that you and I will probably not ever want to be involved in with our partners. Okay, they're yelling at each other and their voices are just going up higher and higher and higher. You would think they're having a competition to see who can scream louder than the other person. That's how badly they were screaming at each other, and everybody is getting concerned. 9th comes around and it's breakfast time. Everyone goes down. They're waiting to eat their breakfast. They're looking around. Like I said, 14 couples at a time, right? So they're looking around. Everybody pretty much kind of remembers who's there. Maybe not vividly, but they kind of have an idea of who's present. And they're not seeing Christe Chen or her husband, Bradley Dawson. This is very strange because where are they? Why are they nowhere to be seen? And everyone is starting to kind of be a little worried, but I don't think they were worried to the point of be like, oh, something bad happened. Maybe they're worried that maybe they're calling things quit. Maybe they got off the island, maybe. Or if not that, maybe they're making up. You know, last night was a rough night for them. They were yelling at each other. They were at each other's throat, but maybe they decided to sleep in today. Maybe make love, sweet, sweet love to each other, whisper good, sweet, sweet things in each other's ears, apologize to each other, say they're never going to fight again, maybe, but they're going to probably fight again. So everyone just assumed that everything's going to be okay. That is until the staff of this resort opened the door to check on them, because they have been trying to reach out for them and can't seem to find them. They open the door to the resort or to the bungalow, and inside is Christe laying there bludgeoned to death, completely bludgeoned from her head down. She's unrecognizable. They called the police because at this point, let's be honest, even if they don't know what happened, they know one thing. Somebody killed Christe, and that somebody was on this island. And this is a resort with guests, lots and lots of guests. So they have to make sure that this is not going to be a repeat. So they call the police, and the police come. Now, at first, I feel like the police probably would assume that whoever did this probably did the same to the husband, because the husband is nowhere to be seen. And if the husband is nowhere to be seen, is it possible that he was hurt and was disposed separately? Which is weird. Yes, it's weird, but it's not impossible. So they start looking, and 2 days later, they find him. They find him on a neighboring island. This man kayaked himself to a neighboring island and was just chilling. He was chilling, okay? When arrested, he had his passport on him, a little bag with personal items like clothing and stuff. It looked like he was a little thought, okay? He looked like he had an overnight bag, okay? That's what it looked like. He had an overnight bag like some of y'all nasties. I'm just kidding. But he had a little go bag, and he looked like he's either on a run or he just went to see his sneaky link. The Fijian police arrest him immediately. They take him in and they start questioning him. Some sources say that he confessed immediately about like the crime of his wife's death. But his lawyer to this day stand by the fact that he never confessed, you know, like this is completely, it's been a complete denial, okay? So there is no proof to say that he did what people are claiming he did. He started getting questioned and they started their investigation. Fast forward now 2 years later, on December 12th of 2024, they finally charge him for the death of his wife, and he's standing by the fact that he didn't kill his wife. He pleaded not guilty. He said, listen, it's weird, I know, I get it, okay, I ain't gonna hold y'all. However, I left my wife that day for a good reason, okay? That morning I woke up and we were having a fight the night before. We were fighting and it was just nonstop, just going back and forth. And I'm the kind of person, I love to just give my partner space, you know. We've never had any fight that was physical, so like this whole assumption that I did something to my wife is impossible. I would never touch her. I love my wife. She's my everything, literally my everything, you know. But that day I thought it'd be best if I left her alone to her thoughts, because we were fighting and I just felt like she needed to cool down, you know. So I kayaked to the neighboring island to give us space and time to cool down, and I was gonna go back. But the judge presiding over the case, Justice Riaz Hamaz, he says that based solely on the fact that this man had a go bag and personal items in that bag and his passport on him, it's very clear he was getting ready to abscond, okay? There is no question this man was trying to flee the country after the crime, and he was arrested. So he had no doubt, there's no doubt in his mind that he's the one that committed the crime. So he says, I'm not about to like accept your claims. So his claims get rejected, and he's supposed to be going back to court on the 27th of January of 2025. Prior to this, he tried to get like a bail. He tried to get released on bail multiple times. The first time was rejected because the person that he put down to be like to stay with after being released on bail was a sex offender. And then he tried to do it a couple more times with these ladies that the judge rejected it because he didn't know the people long enough to be staying with them on bail. So the judge was like, no, this is not gonna happen. His lawyer says that they're willing to turn in his passport, you know, turn in his passport, make it very clear there is no intention to flee. So there shouldn't be any reason that he wouldn't get a bail. However, the judge said no. So in Fiji, the judge has the right to give a sentence before pardon be considered. So I feel like the judge is not going to be going very easy on him. Justice Riaz doesn't seem like Riaz Hamas doesn't seem like someone that's going to be going very easy on him. So I feel like more than likely he's probably going to be getting life in prison. More than likely. That's just my opinion. There are some commenters on the internet, and I want you to take this with a grain of salt, but there are some people that have said that they knew him as a roommate. They knew Dawson as a roommate, and he was a drunk, like an angry drunk. When he's drunk, he's not fun to be around. Like, he's a very, very violent drunk. And then there are people that also claim that they knew Christe, and Christe is just a sweet, sweet person. I feel like I believe it. She looked like a really sweet person. She just, like, when you look at her pictures, she just looks so adorable, you know? Some people, you see them and you're like, you have problems. But she seemed like a really, really sweet person. But they said that she's really sweet. She loved people. She loved being around people. Like, she's the kind of person that's just overjoyed to help other people, right? So a lot of commenters believe that he killed her in rage after drinking, or he killed her for money, insurance money. That's the big thing, you know. Money is the biggest motivator. Like, the more you read on these crime stuff, the more you realize that people would do the craziest things for money. But a lot of people believe that he might have done this for money, insurance money. He thought that he could get away to go back to the US and claim that something happened to his wife, which I don't know. I don't think that's like doable, you know, because if you go on a vacation with someone and something happens to them and you don't report it to the police, like, he should be the one in that hotel room going 911 or whatever their phone number is in Fiji, calling and being like, hey, something's wrong with my wife. I don't know what happened, but she's bloody. She's laying in this room just covered in blood. You guys need to come find who did this to her. But he just left. He left. Like, even if he was trying to collect on insurance money, I don't think the insurance company is gonna be like, oh yeah, let's just write you a check. How much was it again? No, I don't think that's possible. But we're gonna find out more after he gets like his sentence read to him on the 27th of January. So keep your ears and your eyes out for that. I will pin it in the comments once I have like the updates or whatever. But yeah, that's the story of the honeymoon killer. According to the victim's family's lawyer, like the attorney for Christe's family, he states that she was so badly injured they couldn't even recognize her. And when they were trying to get her brought back to the US, they had to get her embalmed because they can't like transfer her without an embalmment. And they couldn't do that. That's how badly beaten she was. It's assumed that he used like the seat on the toilet, he used it to bash her head in. So like, that's why I feel like a lot of people think it was in anger. But that's crazy. That's so crazy. Of all things, like someone that you claim to love, I don't know. I feel like that's just so diabolical, if you ask me. But I want to know what y'all's thoughts are. I want to know if you've read about this case, if you've seen this case. There are so many instances where like people go on their honeymoon and disappear. I saw this one case where this couple went on their honeymoon and the one of them pushed the other one into the ocean, because it's like a cruise ship honeymoon, pushed the other one into the ocean and went about life like nothing happened, and then collected insurance money. But yeah, anyways, that's a story for another day, okay? I want you to leave in the comments what your thoughts are. Do you think that do you think he did this in anger? Do you think he did this with the intention of collecting on insurance money? Or are you the few very select people that believe he did not commit the crime? Because there are some people that say that he maybe really didn't commit the crime, you know? So I want to know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and you like the video. It really, really, really helps me out. So please do subscribe and like the video for me. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay safe and I love you guys so much. Bye. Mwah.